Hello. Good evening. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. I've been looking at my Tyranid box. I'm late. Am I late? I by seconds if I'm late. If I'm late, I'm by seconds. I'm sorry. I was sat here with watching the clock, but I was also pulling stuff out of boxes because I looked at my Tyranids and I realised I did all that work and got the 2,000 point army done, and then when I got all the stuff from Combat Patrol, I didn't really paint it. So I've got an absolute crap ton of Tyranids that are not painted, which is not good because I've got lots painted. So it's like, yeah, I can put things on the table and I've got 2,000 points, but now I've got lots I can interchange with. So I should get them painted really short, and then I can put them all away and they're not cluttering up my house, and they're not. I don't know where they all are, and they're all nice and neat and done. So that's the process. At least start the process tonight. Hope I can get at least a dent's worth of actual work done on them. I mean, on the entire force, not just. Yeah, because as I said, there is a lot of them. It's basically everything from Combat Patrol. So while I'm sort of pulling this out, how are you, Francois? Because you have come to join me tonight, and I am thankful. Thank you very much for being here. How's your week been? How was you last week? Because I don't think you caught last week. I can't remember. Yeah, my memory doesn't exist, so I'm not going to pretend that I've got a memory and that I can actually remember what happened last week. I remember I did a lot of stippling with dry brush, and that's about it. I don't know if I did any singing. I don't know. I have no idea. I do know I've got some more things done on the island, but that's because it's blatantly obvious that I've got things done on the island. He's important. He's actually HQ. I like him. He spawned Ripper Swarm bases. He's fun. Let's see, these ones aren't even base coated yet. I've got some that I've dry brushed already, some that I've got some colour on them. So they're at various stages. A custom garage. Now, is that a custom garage door for models, or is that literally in your house you're building a custom garage door? In which case, I don't want to be responsible for you taking off a hand with a while you're cutting out some steel or anything. So, good evening, Alec. Good evening. Hello, and thank you for joining me. And us, should I say, because Francois is already here as well. I've actually got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There should be one more of these little guys, which is that. Excellent. That's all 10 of them. 1, 2, 3. Should be 4 of them because one should already be done. Right. There should be a set of 3 that are pretty much done, but are waiting for the last dry brush for Van Ryan's Leapers. So that's good to know. There's a Ripper Swarm base. Let's stick them over near the Parasite because he's the one who spawns them. There's not even. Again, one base coated and dry brushed, one not even base coated. Which is why I've got plenty of paint blacks as well as what I will need to paint. And we've got the little token markers that go with the Neurotyrant, which are little brain thingies on stems. I should have one. If I was more organized in this box, I'd actually be able to show finished versions. Renee, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for coming to join us. I'm late at getting ready because, well, I was talking about weddingy stuff, so I wasn't quite as prepared as I needed to be. Essentially, I didn't get all the bloody models out of the box, which I should have done. Right, that can't be all of them because I'm missing at least. Oh no, there's there's the romance loop. Right, okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So there's one unprimed one in here somewhere. And there is 2, 4, 6, 7. There's 3 primed and ready to pick. So there's the unprimed one. I should have an unprimed or a primed Ripper Swarm base. Sorry, an unprimed Ripper Swarm base somewhere as well. So where the bloody Nora is that? See, that might not even be in this box now in my luck. I could end up actually getting everything out of the box and it all not be in there. The wedding prep's not coming along too bad. I believe we have a photographer now because somebody's being very, very kind to us, which is nice. I like that. I like people being kind to me. There's the Ripper Swan base. Oh, no, it has been done black, but it's not ready yet. Right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's all of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's all of them. 4 Ripper Swan bases, Parasite and Martrex. One of them, 3 of them, 3 of them, 4 of them, and that lot. Right. So the plan is to take all these and get them up to, let's pick someone who's nice and easy to see what the colour scheme is going to be. Well, it's going to be one of them actually. So yeah, it's going to. Hopefully, they're all going to end up looking something like that by the end of it. Talking to the camera is a weird thing to get used to. Remembering there's a camera in the first place is my problem. I'm so used to talking to myself that I will just look down and start talking, so I forget to actually look at the camera all the time. So yeah, remembering the camera's there in the first place is a good one, Renee. Sorry, needed a drink then? Is that all of them out of here now? Yes. Right. Excellent. Now I've not got a clue where to start. Well, I should base any models that aren't base coat, should I say, base coat any models that aren't base coated. Use correct words. I'm not a complete moron. I'm an idiot, but I'm not a complete moron. Right, I need black. Black. And that's just going to taint all water thereon. Probably not the best colour to start with, but it is the colour I need to start with, so. I didn't get my wet palette sorted. I didn't think I was going to use it because I thought I was going to be mostly speed paints and dry brushing. Oh well, in this case it looks like we're going raw. Well, 10 termagants and 1 Ripper Swan base. Let's go. Then by the time these have finished, I can start dry brushing some things that need dry brushing, and then hopefully these would have dried so I can dry brush these, and then I can move on to colours. Or I might have to go on to colours straight away. Doesn't really make a difference. I have clamps to keep cameras down. I can't hold cameras while my hands are busy, so yep, all my cameras are clamped down. They stay where, well, they're supposed to stay where they are, but this one moves. That was not as stable as I would like it to be, but that's my own fault for not actually looking into how to stabilize it properly. I could probably make it more stable, but it would lose some of its flexibility by doing so. I had to come to a compromise. Paint everything black, black, black. Gold. Oh, they're not gold, I don't think, are they? No, no, they're the wings that are currently on them. They're that color due to an accident. If I can get around to them tonight, I'll explain that. If not, remind me next time, and I'll explain how I got to that happy accident on those wings and why they're a bit different from the other one. I also have some scenery to sort out because of that as well. It's not that it's too noisy. It's more, it's messy. Because of my confines, I can't set up a proper full spray booth. So I can use a little cardboard box, but that still doesn't contain it completely. So essentially, you've just got to the crux of why they look like that. So I have to do my spraying outside at the moment. Otherwise, stuff like that happens. Because I'm an idiot. It's not noisy though. It is quiet enough that I could use it on the stream. Especially now I've got a mic over this side. If I put it right over there, it'll barely pick it up. Or it might distract Sparkles a little bit. She does sit and monitor me on these things pretty much like a prison warden monitors a prisoner out on day release. You will fucking behave yourself. Okay. Plus, technically, I have technically signed up for a longer sentence, but that's a different matter. Just making sure there's nothing coming flying my way. Always good to check. I know it's yet to happen, but doesn't mean to say it won't. Do we ever dip the pieces? No. Some of the pieces are too big just to dip in general. So no, I just couldn't do it. But no, because it would be too thick. I mean, even doing this, still a little bit because the paint's not been thinned down at all. In this case, I'm just going straight from the pot onto the model, which is why I'm trying to make sure I cover as much as I can with as much as I can before I go returning back to the pot for more paint. I want to try and use as much as possible to get as much coverage because otherwise it'll be too thick. I do have tea. It is currently hidden behind me. I found that my picture where I am. So let me get this right. The hands are that and that. Yeah, that bit perfectly hides my cup. Watch. See, it's great. So I can keep my cup to hand at all times, but nobody can see it. You never know whether I've got tea or coffee or a juice. No, I'm not going to have a juice. Good evening, Twisted. Good evening. I may end up asking for Cam's Necrons back, thanks to you, mate. Just because now that I think I can do a better job. than what I did on them in the first place, and I can pull off the effect that I would like to do, would have liked to have done in the first place better now. So we may end up having a revisit of Necrons as well, even after this revisit of Tyranids. But this should be the last visit to Tyranids unless I get a new model, because this is every model now that is unpainted, unbased, on anything. Once these are done, all my Tyranids are done. It might take me a week or two. Who am I kidding? It's definitely going to take me 2 weeks at least. Just going at this rate, even if I can get everything base coated and dry brushed off, some of the colour started, then it's going to take me at least another week to finish up the painting side of it, and then I've got to base everything as well. No sign of Karma Chameleon, but it is also possibly time that he's trying to get children or things. He's got home things to do, so I don't know if he'll be able to join every time. I'm sure he'll jump in if he gets a chance, though. Especially if he picks up that I'm considering asking for his Necrons back so I can repaint them. Obviously, the better job that I do painting his Necrons, if he ever sells them, the more bloody money he's going to get on eBay for them things. But if he does keep them, he's got a nicer painted arm. And it'll give him more encouragement to try and do his Tau. Because he was happy with the last paint job that I did on it. But if I were to be taking unit by unit off him again and just upping it a little bit more, then it might kind of encourage him to do it himself and start on his Fire Warriors or his Pathfinders or his, who knows, even his Kroot. Because Kroot is supposed to be pretty good in this new edition. I know melee does have a place in this and is reasonably effective if you use the right units. Yeah, I try not to plan things too much for similar reasons. Twisted, just in case my body goes nope. I try to keep plans relatively loose. So as I said, this might take a few weeks. I have taken my tablet before I started though, which is a good thing because usually I forget that because I'm getting ready for this. But saying that, yeah, I know before I finish painting these, something else is going to arrive. So I think I know what I'm going to be doing after some of these. It is kind of going to be a return back to Marines as well. Oh, who's mentioning food? Right. Who's mentioning food? Twisted, you've got to cook for everyone now. It's your own fault. You brought it up. Everybody's got food going. Everybody's got food going. Making me hungry. What can I have to eat? It's 10 to 10 at night. So it's getting late now. I shouldn't really be eating anything. What can I have to eat? I haven't got much for snacking wise. That's particularly healthy. And I don't want anything particularly noisy either because, well, too much crunching and it's not pleasant for all of you to listen to, is it? It's not. Oh, battered sausage and chips. Oh, see, I would love that. Sounds really nice. And I've not had chippy chips for ages, mainly because my stomach doesn't like chip, doesn't like potato. Don't know why, but it just doesn't like potato. So yeah, chippy chips as much as I like them, nope, can't have them anymore. But the battered sausages, I've not had one of them for a while. Lots of salt and vinegar. It's just before 6. Where you, Renee? Where are you? Because I'm guessing you're not in Wales. Just a hunch. With the it's now 6 p.m. that doesn't sound like a Welsh time zone type thing. I'm not in Wales either, but yeah, I'm also nowhere near Gansas, so Ontario. Wow. Oh, cool. But yeah, I've never been. But now there's 2 parts of Canada, as far as I'm aware. There's the French part, and then there's the not French part. Just before I say anything stupid, which part are you from? With a name like Renee. Just, yeah, I'm thinking this through very carefully. I am English, so bear that in mind. I may be giving you condolences just because of where you were born. And I am joking, I'm not being serious. Well, still French. Sorry, I got something. Say that again, sorry.
My family are from there.
What, Quebec?
No.
Oh, Ontario?
Yeah.
Renee's not part of your family, are they? No? Okay, fair enough. It would have been a really odd coincidence. Yeah. It would have been a ridiculously odd coincidence. But there's very, very little crossover, so yeah, there would be no way to actually know for certain. And well, Sparkles doesn't say she doesn't have a family member called Renee, so I'm guessing that is definitely a no. But I'm being told that I'm not allowed to make fun of Ontario because my missus has family from there. What that? As long as you're only half an hour away from the French bit and you don't actually go that way, you're all right. Stay away from Frenchies. They're usually not too nice. They're usually quite. Although I say that, I've only been to the north of France, and essentially the north of France is like the south of England, and I didn't like either of them. So I shouldn't really be having to go with the French when the English can be just as bad. And it seems to be when only the 2 parts that are closest to each other that seems to be pissed off all the time. The other end seems to be all right. So as long as the English and the French stay away from each other, they're okay. The closer they get, they seem to get angry. So that'll probably why London and Paris like full of complete idiots, and then move away up north for England, further south for France, and you get nicer people. And obviously, once you get all the way over to Canada, they become Canadian. The Canadians are just nice to everybody, unless they go into war. Yeah, we have the Geneva Convention because of Canada, don't we? So you can't do. Hey, just because people are nice doesn't mean. I've never been to Germany. I can guarantee that's off the honeymoon list because Sparkles has already said warm. I want warm. So, right, okay. We're going somewhere warm then, are we? And I'm not going to deny somewhere warm. The last time we went away, we got absolutely fucking pissed on for a weekend. So I can't say no really to a warm holiday, can I? but I think we'll be staying in Europe. A long ass flight to the islands off the coast of America, because I don't think is on the cards. Because that would be a long ass flight. I'm being told 8 hours. See, that doesn't seem. I've only ever been on 2 planes, and it was very short, very, very short, going from England to Ireland. That is really short. Didn't bother me one bit. I thought it was great. Sparkles, on the other hand, not so much. So, yeah, being up there for 8 hours, I don't think. Yeah, I'm guessing no. So Sparkles is a bad flyer. Whereas I don't seem to care. Flying seems to be my best mode of transportation. I don't like driving. I don't like trains. I don't like coaches. So if I can fly, perfect. No, yeah, Sparkles is what in sunshine, sangrias, and sand type things. So, yeah, beach or pool, not do much at all, unless we wish to. And yeah. Right, I've just got. I've shortened my chat box because I've moved over the side, and I've got. So you're actually English, Renee, with the French. You put. At least he can cook. Apparently, I tried French cuisine, didn't like it. Well, some people do. Some people say French cuisine is good, so at least he got the chance he could cook. It's all right. Right, okay, yeah. It's okay. You're not French. No need to be sorry. And if there's any French people who watch this, you do realise that it's a joke. But seriously, sorry, I can't stop being French. I'm going to get done for racism against French people, aren't I? I should be all right. I've got a very easy defense. But Your Honour, the French, and I should be off. I should get off with it. You don't get along with the Scottish side. Yeah, Scottish people, they're like Buckfast. They're an acquired taste. It's probably why that sells so well up there. I've got family in Scotland, and I love them to bits, but I can understand why other people might not like them. Then again, I've got family around here that I like, and I can understand why people might not like them. So, hang on, I come under that category. Most people probably think I'm a dick. They're right, but they don't know me well enough to actually know that they're right. Well, that's 5 little termagants done black. And this is not criticism on anyone watching, by the way. But it is the reason why I do go slower than what I would do if it was just head down, not doing anything else but painting. I would go through it very slightly quicker. So I probably would have done an extra model or 2 by now. But I won't be that much further ahead, in fairness. You've come out the base. You're not supposed to come out the base. You're supposed to be push fit, and that's it. You stay. Look in that base, you little shit. Get in there. Okay. Do still. Not bad. Cocky little fucker. Pardon me. No, my heritage, I've got Romanian, Greek, and then Northwest England. So one half of my family tree goes like into Europe. The other half of my family tree is quite firmly rooted in the part of England where I live. I mean very firmly. We're not talking decades, we're talking centuries. It is quite daft, actually. But yes, I do have some, which is odd because my mum was very olive skinned and I am as white as the driven snow. Renee, that is an understatement. That is an stubborn. There might be a wee bit of stubbornness in Ali. Yeah, that's an understatement right there. Yeah, Ali's about as stubborn as he gets. And not in a bad way either. But if she feels strongly enough about something, you ain't. Nope. Are you going to share the other little facts as well, Ali? Just the extra little tip of the iceberg that makes that stubbornness that little more. Because there is one little bit that just tips it over from being all right. My genetics say I'm stubborn, but there is that extra little. It is literally on the top. Yeah, it's not all down to just heritage. Twisted does pick models as well. Twisted paints models better than I do. A lot better than I do. He's also the person who I call the master of bases. So when it comes to the things that these are stood on, I generally just put them on the base and make something that stops it looking plastic. Twisted's work, however, is yeah. They're like some of them are like mini dioramas, and it's just for one model. He put one up on display in my Discord today. And it's a Necron warrior, just a normal rank and file Necron warrior. And that Necron warrior's base is more ornate than that HQ's base, which has come with something already attached to it. It is almost as ornate as this base, and this base is friggin' ridiculous. Okay. Now, I didn't make this base; it came sculpted with the model from Games Workshop. But this model is stood on a huge piece of metal with stuff coming out of the ground, and also, yeah, that level onto that type of. I mean, dude, give us a chance. You're the one putting the pictures up. Don't blame me. Right, look at my paint jobs. Look, there you go. Look at my paint jobs. Yeah, see, nice little red eye. Ooh, yeah, you can see the green bits. Ooh, yeah, you can see the purple bits, and there's a bit of highlighting. Yeah. Yours is glowing from the inside, or it's got a flash coming past it, or it's glowing, and then, dude, you're good. Face it. Your bases are better than your painting, though. I will admit that. If you want criticism, your bases are better than your painting. You're a good painter, but your bases are something else. It's kind of one of the things. If I could get like my perfect painter to paint a model to go on your bases, it'd be like, oh, that'd be brilliant. So you need to up your painting game so it's as good as your base game. I just need to up my game completely. So yeah, it's not without. It's not. I'm not saying you're fucking perfect. No, your base game. Yeah, there is a difference between one part of your abilities to the others, but you are working on the other part, which is also becoming noticed and noticed and noticed as you increase and work on your painting. I'm going to start doing this more than once a week to catch up, aren't I? I'm definitely going to have to start doing this more than once a week, but I only get to sit. Yeah, I find it easier to concentrate when I've got you all looking at me, essentially. So it's well, everything I've learned regarding painting, I've learned from you seeing a YouTube video and then thinking years later, or at least long enough for me to have forgotten the basics of how to actually do the technique, to give it a go. And then it's been my version of how that happens every time. So I don't think I've ever got a technique fully right as to how it was intentionally done. Take slap shot, for instance. I don't do that the same as everyone else does it. I know that because I do essentially it's a double slap. I do a double slap rather than just a single slap. I find it works better, especially with the reactivating paints from Army Painter. They're fucking awesome for it because they kind of do the toning and the highlighting for you. It's just ivory, speed paint, ivory, done. Fucking awesome. So yeah, I do pervert some of the techniques to my own ends. I still think dry brushing is probably my favorite technique at the moment for saving things and painting things quickly and easily. And trying to keep things on camera is also a good idea. Especially if you're going to do this on camera, try and keep it on camera. Don't copy me and forget and lose your mind. And then start getting hungry because you were thinking about that rice and pork that Twisted was putting in chat earlier. Really could do with something like a sausage and egg boy or something right now. I've not got time to go cook myself a sausage and egg butty. And I believe has the phone disappeared? The phone has disappeared. Sparkles will have gone upstairs. Doesn't mean she's not watching. It just means she's no longer in the room with me, so I won't get any answers if I ask a question. The East Coast there. All right. Yeah. That's is that the slightly warmer bit? The East Coast. Because I know if you head out further west, you end up heading towards Alaska, and I think that's where British Columbia is as well. Don't quote me on that. I'm not from Canada. I could be completely wrong. But I think, yeah, heading west is where it gets colder, I think. And that's kind of just above the bits where it's all foresty in America and the south of Canada, and it's the river that crosses them over. Yeah, the West Coast. The West Coast is cold. The East Coast is warmer, or is the West Coast warmer? Because I thought that was where Alaska was. I'm probably just fucking this all up now and confusing everybody. Never mind. Geography is, I say, not my strong point, but I seem to know more than most people. But that's because I talk to people that are in different places in the world. If I didn't speak to people in different places in the world, I would not have. Maryland was not where I thought it was. Arkansas was not where I thought it was. Ontario's probably going to find out to be not where I thought it was. And you could even say it's like just off the east, inside of the East Coast, or just north of until I've got it on a map and then I'll have a reference of, oh no, I thought it was over there or over there. Yeah. West Coast is almost tropical. Wow. Okay. Yeah, but that's an even longer ass flight then, isn't it? Because not only have I got so from me to get to Canada, be up through over Greenland, Canada, but then I'd have to travel across all of Canada to get to the West Coast. That's a long ass flight. That's probably at least a 12, 14-hour flight. It's a long journey. That is a very long journey. Although I'm guessing probably shorter than going to some of the places in America. And some of the places that are more guaranteed to be warm, like down south and essentially the same coast, the West Coast, going over towards California and that side. Although if you head further up the West Coast, apparently it just rains a lot. I don't know if we could do, because there's different types of heat, and I only know this because other people have described it to me, particularly my ginger friend, which helps because he's ginger. So that dude takes care in heat, and he's been to tropical places and he's been to just hot places, and he said the tropical places he was okay in. He still had to wear sunscreen and cover up and stuff, otherwise he would still burn. But he said the heat wasn't as bad for him. But in other places, it was just too much, especially in the places where it was just ridiculously dry. He said he couldn't stand it. So, yeah. I think I'll prefer somewhere with some kind of. I mean, I might be wrong. I might want to go the other way. I mean, we're not probably not too far off the latitude line. Or is it long? Yeah, no, it's latitude. And we're not too bad. We're getting colder certainly getting cold during the winters, but it's definitely getting colder. But that might just be because the houses are built shit now. But we don't really get much of a summer anyway, so I can't really say it's getting warmer. Pardon me. Yeah, but that's South American jungle, mate. That's like, you're talking, that's an entire different fucking thing entirely. You're crossing over the fucking into the hemisphere and everything there. You're going to the opposite place. You're going to the opposite side. No, that's the weird place. That's the side where it has more things that can kill you that doesn't. And don't forget, obviously, in that hemisphere, they've got South America, Africa, Australia. Those countries don't have nice animals. Those countries are not designed for people. Those countries are designed for nature, and let's let nature keep it. Although we should pay attention to Africa, otherwise it'll just blow sand everywhere and it'll just cover the world, and we don't want that. Sand gets everywhere. Anakin was right. But what he didn't realise is he found bloody dust clouds and travels the ocean. Ends up washing up on somebody else's shores. So that's taking over there as well. That blob was way too big. Right, get rid of it, get rid of it. Pace out. Quickly, don't let it settle, That was way too much. I mean, it's in more than enough to get the model done, but I've got to move it about quickly enough to get the bloody model done now. And having to rush like this is when you start making mistakes. Let's try not making any. Make sure we do get him from all angles and all sides. Just to make sure the whole slap chop technique works. It's already been started down here on these anyway. Which is good. We do have quite a lot already done. Slap chopped up. We were. And it looks like some of the early ones that we started to do have already dried. Good evening, Lee. Good evening. Yep. See, that's how those continents are connected is, just the fact that you can just go from literally the Arctic Circle and then drive all the way down to the bottom of Argentina and pretty much hit the other Arctic Circle. It's just stupid. I mean, that is one long ass drive. What is CT you're working on, Lee? Are you actually running trains? You're actually running a layout? Are you recording it? Do you have a camera on one of the trains? Have you put your sports camera on the front of the train? Did you even think of that? Please say you thought of that. I hope you did. Sports camera on the front of the train, run it around the track. At a little top. Could have other cameras set up to show. Basically, run it around with the camera, and then you take the camera off and you run it around again, and then you edit it all together, and it looks fucking awesome. Does require filming it like stuff. Yeah, use all your cameras. Get all as many angles as you can. Just make sure you don't get any cameras in the camera shots. That's why you've got to run it twice, because you've got to take the front camera off. You know, crap loads to edit, but you'll also have hopefully a better video by the end of it. Yeah, an action cam for your cats. Yeah, they'll take it off, leave it somewhere in someone's garden. You'll never see it again. They'll purposely try and get it snagged on something so they can get it off. Cats are stupid. Particularly your bloody cats. Your cats are stupid as well. Is there a place past Panama that is it the big canal thing? Is it a water bit? Yeah, I'm sure you can get your car on a ferry and just drive around that bit and just like sail around that bit, get back on the road and carry on. like if we were to drive through Europe, we just kind of jump on the train with the car, and pop out in France, and you can go drive through Europe. You can drive, but you have to do a little bit on a train or on a ferry. Depending how much money you're willing to spend, really. The train's more expensive. Ferry takes fucking ages. In Mexico. Mexico's one of the places that's not interested in me. If I was going to go west from here, there isn't actually that much that interests me regarding places I would like to see. I mean, apart from if I was going to do a family holiday and I had the money, would have taken the entire family to Disneyland? Of course I would. I would have taken them to Universal Studios? Of course I would. Other than it's like, yeah, I don't want to do the New York thing. If I was going to do that, I'd do Tokyo instead. So I'd go east rather than west. Yeah, I don't. If I was going to go hot, I'd go slightly east and south. I can just go through Europe because there's plenty of warm places in Europe. So yeah, I've never really fancied going to a particularly South American continent. They do, but you need to drive at these places, and I don't drive. That is a huge downfall, I've got to say, because I don't drive. A lot of the larger scale stuff is out of my reach anyway. So when it comes to that, I struggle. I know to get around America, I would need to drive. Although you do have a public transport service, it's not up to it's not the same as over here where you can get up and down the country on public. You don't need to drive. Everything can be done by public transport. There is options to go see things online, Francois. Google Earth helps. Google Earth does help. You don't have to even see people, then it's fucking awesome. Right. So before I get colour, I need to. He looks like he's already had an attempt at being dry brushed and it's fucked up. But that is essentially the next stage is the very first ivory dry brush. Yellowstone is beautiful through a documentary camera lens, but see, yeah. So if I was going to do it, I'd have to arrange for somebody to drive me around. But in that case, I'd probably arrange somebody I'd like to go and meet over there. So I'd be going to meet the person rather than necessarily the place, and they just happen to be taking me to the place as something to do while I'm over there with them. So I think it'll be a bit weird. I know I'm going to need a lot of ivory tonight. A lot of ivory because they're going to need a double dry brush. As I said, I double chop my slap chops. Saying that, there are nice areas here. Like we have the Forest of Dean and some other nice, like the Peak District, the Lake District. There are some nice national parks over here. But scale-wise, America and Canada just do it bigger because, well, they are. It's kind of how it works. If you've got the room, then you can do it. And this is where my hand gets covered in paint, and it's still not fully recovered from last time. Just lightly. Too much paint on the brush tool. Catching higher edges. So when we put the colour on it, the colour will take to the lighter areas, and the darker areas will stay dark. That's the idea anyway. Problem is you can overdo this section, like I've done on this big fucking thing over here. Yeah, we have more castles than lots of bloody fucking castles. We're also the only place where you can get blue John, which is a semi-precious stone. Although why it's semi-precious, I don't understand, because if it's only found in one place on the entire fucking planet, surely that makes it rare as shit. Shouldn't that be a precious one then? There's less blue John than there are diamonds in the fucking world. I think there's more fucking emeralds than there are fucking blue John. Yeah, you want to see a bear up close, but you don't want to actually see a bear up close. If you're the guy holding the camera, because obviously they don't actually have guys holding the camera, I'm not that stupid. But yeah, if you was holding the camera and the bear was sniffing the camera, you'd better have brown trousers on, and if you don't, then you chose the wrong color that day. And this is how some of them end up slightly more vibrant than others, because my dry brushing with this particular technique is very inconsistent. But as each one is built specifically and with minor different parameters than ones before it, it would make sense that there would be variance. So I ain't aiming for perfection. I'm aiming for I can see what the fuck it is on the table. And it don't look too bad. It could look better, but it doesn't look too bad. It is an army I intend to come back and look at and repaint properly with actual paints as opposed to speed paints, but yeah, that little piece of information where you could have quite happily kept to yourself, Renee. I would have gone through all my life not knowing that minor piece of slightly terrifying information. Because I'm already scared of bears more than big cats anyway. Because at least with a big cat, a gun is a potential equalizer. Potential, not a guarantee. But it gives you slightly more of a chance. Where the bear, unless you've got some big fucking gun with you, and I mean big fucking gun with you, then that bear guy go num num and eat you. Your lunch, unless the bear's not hungry. But let's face it, it's a fucking bear. It is hungry. Bears wake up hungry. The only time when they're not hungry is they go to sleep for a few months. Then they wake up hungry. And if they don't go to sleep for a few months and they decide to stay awake for all that time, then they need a shitload more fat. So they're even hungrier. But as far as I'm aware, most bears go to sleep for those few months. In fact, all bears do, don't they? Yeah, okay, so black bears are the lesser of the two evils. Let's face it, both can fucking kill you. Just that one of them didn't know it properly. Or will only do it when push comes to shove. That's not bad. Yeah, brown bears, fuck them. Polar bears, nah. And the only time I ever want to see a polar bear up close, if it's not on camera, is when it's behind a very fucking thick piece of glass, like not bulletproof glass, like fucking explosive ballistic missile proof glass. True, but I don't intend to ever go up a mountain either, so I don't intend to ever meet a mountain lion. Unless a mountain lion finds itself right in the middle of very, very built up Greater Manchester. And I ain't meeting a mountain lion. Sometimes dickheads drive around here and they have circuses and things. And occasionally, very occasionally, because of animal rights and stuff like that, some of them do actually have animals that are they're treated well and do perform. And sometimes bears do come. So I've got more chance of meeting a fucking bear than I have a mountain lion. So no. I think they have big cats up in Scotland, but not mountain lion size. Enough to crush my throat, but again, I don't intend to go to that part of Scotland because I need a car to get there. I don't have a car. Which is again why honeymoon planning is a bit of a fucking right. Okay, so where are we limited to go? So it's pretty much okay. He's going to have to be airport, taxi from airport to wherever it's going to be. So let's face it, we're not going to want to fuck around with money on a honeymoon. So we're going to want to go all inclusive and all that. So we can just walk up. So we're going to want somewhere that's got more than one place for us to go. We can just go get what we want. So airport to there, and then there to the airport. So we're going to have to choose somewhere nice because we're going to spend time there. Yeah, you told me about that. I'm not going to repeat the story because it's not my story, and quite honest, it's not a nice thing. I'm glad Twisted got through it, but it's not a nice thing. So if Twisted ever wants to tell that story, obviously my Discord's there. Go right ahead. Use it to your free will, man. But I mean, don't use it to your free will. I don't know all the. I don't know your personal ins and outs of your life. And for all I know, you could say fucking gambling. Then I don't know. Cracked it. Fuck knows. Well, yeah. Tell people about the story. Pink. What went pink? Wasn't a gas being added. How peculiar. That is odd. Although I was slightly off there. Dry brushing. Oh, how I love dry brushing. My hand will be painted pretty much ivory by the end of this evening. My entire hand will be painted ivory by the end of this evening. I don't use tissue because it absorbs too much of the water. But I should use something that takes a bit more water off because sometimes they end up just painting it. And that's not particularly what I want to do. I'm only looking to get the higher edges. I'm not looking to paint the actual fucking model. That comes later. when I'm doing colours. Yeah, you're very lucky there, Renee. As I said, Twisted, not quite as he has a very personal relationship with a mountain lion. So I should say, I'm guessing there was one that he particularly didn't like. But remember, this time, don't go over my hand with something that really fucking scrubs, because it can remove skin. It removes paint wonderfully, but you don't want to be taking skin off as well as paint. So remember that this time. Scrub daddies are not meant for cleaning people. Just because it says daddy on it does not mean that it is for men. In case anyone's wondering why I'm not acting so shocked and aghast by Twisted's story in chat, I don't mean this to sound so blasé, but he's told me before, so I'm aware of what happened, and as I said, it wasn't nice. It's not a pleasant thing. I don't particularly want to talk about it. Fucking horrendous. But as chat is generally replayed back for people in the future, you all get to read it. So there's a reason why I'm not going, oh, what? Yeah, I've already done it once. I think I've done it twice, I think. A third time just is almost, it's almost like, no, you're just being false now. Said I am glad he has survived, though. And yeah, I'd be shitting myself too. Oh, But if it were a brown bear that had decided to do that, then nope. That's why brown bears and big things like that, I'm all for it with Francois. I'll watch it from a documentary camera. Thank you. Yeah. You set up the video traps. I'll watch it on television. If I need to and want to be life size, I'll go find somebody with a bigger television and watch it there. Again, not taking quite enough bloody paint off. I'm sorry, people. This bit is like the most boring, labor-inducive part of painting. So if you're not used to this and you're thinking about getting into the hobby, this is one of the stages you will have to do. Is just sometimes it is just mind-numbing batch painting of the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Sometimes you get to vary up very slightly because of slightly more ornate models or slightly different models. But batch painting is definitely something that you do a lot of in this hobby. Mostly because things come in units. Dry brushing is laborious, especially when you've got to do it twice. So get everything dry brushed now. Then I know everything's fucking dry brushed for the first time anyway. Then start adding colours to those that need it. So what colours do I need to? Well, they just need dry brushing. They might need a little bit of colour touch up, but they look like they pretty much just need dry brushing from that point forward. They definitely need greens putting on them, and everything else needs all three colours. So, speaking of all three colours, let's move that out of the way. And this is why I have this, because I am using speed paints, and I'm pretty much using purple, yellow, green. And as soon as it's got two little sets for it, I can do it nicely. So first is yellow. All the flesh. Is it? No. Yes. No. Yeah, being in the water is exhausting. I can't swim. I'm a bad swimmer. I don't do water very well. I live on a fucking island. You would think I would do better, but no. Well, I'm not. Here's the problem. I can swim, and when I do swim, I actually can. I'm quite a strong swimmer, but I just can't do it for very long because I'm not very healthy. So if I could work on my technique and my breathing, then I'd be a much better swimmer. But I'm not healthy. Why have I started with green? I've picked up the green. I didn't want to pick up the green. I wanted to pick up the yellow. Then I want to do all the fleshy tones on everything that's not had its fleshy tones done. Oh, what fun that's going to be. Because, yeah, there are about 30 odd, 35, 36, about 37 models that need flesh doing. I'm going to use the new brush, the medium shade brush from Games Workshop that we got free with a Hachette magazine, even though I didn't get the fucking last issue. Yep, it's got ridiculously tight, but it's my breathing mostly. The last time I did it, I did a length of the pool, which is roughly what you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to go back and do another length, and my breathing was that bad by the time I finished the first length. Sparkles thought I was going to pass out in the pool and just drop unconscious. So she was not happy about that. So I've started doing other things while I'm at the gym, things like the rowing machine and the cross trainers and things to actually help me get used to being out of breath, but not that badly, so I can get better. So eventually, I'll be able to start swimming. Well, yeah, I could do with start swimming just for the exercise for my lungs and breathing. It is something I really should do. It shouldn't be something that you'd expect someone to have to work to do, really. It's like, you need to work to be able to breathe properly. Yeah, stop taking the piss. Are you off to bed, Ellie? Okay, thank you very much for joining. Have a nice night. And I hope you have a nice, peaceful day at work tomorrow. So, all the fleshy bits being painted yellow because we've done that dry brushing thing. You get dark bits, you get light bits. It's good. It's a nice technique. Can't remember who came up with it. No, lots of people did videos on it. It works. Does exactly what it says it should do. I mean, you can take it to certain other degrees and levels with inks and using capillary effects to be able to add black lining and edge and other things. But as a base, paint it black, dry brush it a lighter tone, either white or ivory or something, and then put your speed paint over it. That bit works fine. As an extra step for these, having the extra dry brush over it just to bring out the edges again, then yeah, it just helps. So it is 3 basic steps. That needs to be done green, doesn't it? That's all purple. That's all purple. That's yellow. That's all yellow. In there's all yellow. In there's going to be an ass to get dry brushing. It is. It's going to be an absolute ass to get the dry brush in some of these places. No worries. Thank you very much for coming to join us, Renee, and enjoy your food. Your food, which sounds absolutely delicious at this moment in time to me because I'm hungry. Pretty much any food is going to be sounding delicious to me right now. I should have had more. I'm in that position a lot of the time. I should usually eat a lot more. Well, 10 of these to do, people. We're in for a long haul, I think, tonight. We're in for a long haul. I may just get to the point where it's like, well, at least they're all dry brushed. And in some cases, I've got a stage done. Doing the colours doesn't seem as bad as dry brushing. So I'll probably have more motivation to do this bit. I hope. Fingers crossed. Although recently I've been struggling for anything to hold my attention for more than half an hour. So I think I do well on these. How long have we been going? We've got an hour and 20 minutes, so definitely over half an hour. But within the hour and 20 minutes, I've pretty much painted stuff black and I've dry brushed it. I've not done a lot of work. Well, I have, but I haven't. I've not done over an hour's work. Certainly not. I don't think I have anyway. Some people may think, no, you have. You have baste those by hand with brush. You have then dry brushed them same models, so you've included drying time within that period. So yeah, you could classify that as an hour's worth of work, but I've not seen enough of an effect and enough of a change and a difference to go, yeah, I've justified sitting here for an hour painting. But the problem is, the longer I do it means I've got to do more work to justify the longer time that I've spent sat there painting. So unless I can get ridiculously quick results, it's not going to help me. So let's see how this goes. I think I might be right, I might need to go for that test to find out if I've got ADHD. Nah, fuck it. I'm not letting them stick with the label. Because they will. And once they've stuck you with that label, you never get rid of it. I've managed to function 40 years. I think I can function for at least another 20 or so. Hopefully more, but don't want to push my luck, so I'll go for 20. Anything else is bonus. Don't ask why I'm singing silly songs. I'm making noises like this. God say, just have my mouth decided it wanted to make noises. It doesn't always ask my brain's permission. Sometimes my brain makes my mouth make noises that doesn't even ask my permission. Some people say, that's called Tourette's. He's like, nah, it's not. It doesn't say anything bad. It's usually more just sounds than words. I could be speaking a different language for all I know, in which case, if the translator's coming up and is saying all sorts of stuff, I do apologise. I'm not trying to say those very rude words in your language. I don't even know what language it is that it's saying rude words with, but I'm just going to cover my ass just in case. Well, some people don't like rude language. It's not my fucking problem they don't like it, but at least if I'm going to swear, I will do it in English. So I know that I'm swearing. That way there's no confusion. So the focus nearly done. At least with these yellow bit anyway. I'm going to have to get another one out actually, just to check where else I've done yellow on these things. That means I'll blooming find one. I know there's some in here somewhere. No, that's a Neurotyrant. That's a Neurolictor. That's a Von Myers Leaper. That's a... no, so I did paint a lot more of that yellow than I thought. Okay. So a lot more of this is actually done yellow than I have been doing. So let's come back and cover some in. There's only certain bits of it that have been done green, and there's a lot of it that's been done purple. Yeah, there are big chunks of it that have been done yellow. Let's go back over the other two, shall we? You see, I'm not making bets at this point either, to be quite honest, but I'd like another 20 years, and if I was going to pick a decade period, seeing as I'm in my 40s, I feel fairly confident I can reach my 60s. After that, well, that's all down to the graces of powers that are beyond me. Because there are people that are healthier than me that drop way quicker. So, if I get to see my kids grow up and get families, excellent. If I get to see them, even great grandkids, even better. But at the moment, I'll take any day I've got with my family and count it as a fucking blessing. Sorry. Pardon me. Okay, this medium brush is not too bad at all. Medium base brush, especially for speed paints and things where you just essentially throwing it on. Not bad at all. Not bad a brush at all. I think Games Workshop do make some alright things. The sculpts one, we can, as I said, we can never fucking fault them on. Price we can always whinge, but sculpt, no. Paint pots is something we can bloody complain about as well, though. But apparently they do some okay brushes. Now, I'm not sure how much they charge for this bloody brush. And if you charge more than £3, then nah. Somebody's getting ripped off there, and it's us, the customer. But about £5, £3, £5 for this paintbrush. That'll be alright, be worth it. Synthetic, reasonable size, not a bad point. Not a great point, so I won't be doing fine detail work with it. But the long bristles help, especially to bring up and absorb paint. So, yeah, I'm talking good again about Games Workshop for once. Good job you're all sat down, isn't it? Right, give me something that's going to make me angry. That's it. The price of fucking Angron. 120 quid for one model. Are you taking the fucking piss? There you go. I feel better now. Whew. I'm just going to use Lazarus. He's big enough. Which I think is fucking brilliant. He's big enough and he's got enough red and orange on him enough that it'd fit. And I don't think people are like, that's Angron. What do you mean? He's representing Angron. I can't be Angron. You telling me he's not angry enough? He fucking is. So I think, yeah, he'll be proxying Angron. If I can, and this is a big if, and if you're watching, You're the person that picked it up from my local WH Smith. They might try and dissuade you if you go in this Wednesday and they've only got one copy. If they do, leave it the fuck alone, will you, so I can get it? Or wait until I come in. Wait until I come in. If you see me and you see it's me, and you're saying, I just want the magazine, I don't give a shit about the models. Awesome. Let me review the fucking magazine. I'll pay for it. I'll give you the magazine and let me keep the models. But don't be a dick and fuck up my streams in the future. I feel better for that. Yeah, see, little synthetic brushes are all right. I mean, I've still got one in there. That was one of the early ones that we got with the magazine. And it works. It works all right. It's a little bit shorter of a bristle brush, so I don't use it quite as often. But obviously, I've already just started using this, but I prefer long bristle brushes than short bristle brushes. One more for that unit of 5. Now, the barb gaunts are quite a large unit for fleshy parts in this section, not including the fucking psychophage, but that's one model, whereas the barb gaunts are a unit of 5. So there are quite a lot of fleshy bits because they are larger models than the little termagants. Almost twice the bloody size, in fact. So if we can do 10 of these, I'll feel confident I can do 20 of the little ones in a similar time frame. I mean, I'm only just starting the 5th one now. I understand that, but I'm going to have to justify it to myself at some point during this stream. It's like, do I continue or do I call it quits for now and go to bed because I've got to be up early in the morning? Or do I continue and plow through and just put it all away and get it out of the way, ready for tomorrow morning? Yeah, anything that would destroy a natural hairbrush, definitely. See, I like it for metallics because natural. I don't like using metallics with my natural hair brushes because it all gets clogged up and it basically fucks them all up on me. So I like using synthetics for that. Even stuff like lead belcher, if I can use a synthetic, I'd rather use a synthetic. These seem to handle that type of paint better. I suppose it's what they're designed for, really. The actual hair is more designed for water-based. Not saying that you can't use oils, because obviously they had to use oils with some kind of oil paints with some kind of brushes when they made them, but it wasn't until quite recently that we got the invention of nylon to be able to do the synthetic brushes. Five. I can feel 15 of these little fuckers. They would seriously fuck up an orc army, especially our world eaters army. Taking 6 inches off their movement range. That's big. I mean, Angron's still going to get right in the fucking face, but take 6 inches off like berserkers and yeah, 8-bound or exalted 8-bound. Although I will have majority berserkers. I think I'll have 30 of them. Plus 5 terminators and a hellbrute. And I think it'll be 20 jackals. I can't remember. So essentially, all the cultists that would come with a chaos side will be converted to jackals for the World Eater army. Pretty much everything that comes with the chaos side will be converted for the World Eaters army. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the Havoc, so not sure what to do with them. I might end up just scraping all the chaosy stuff off it and just put them on Primaris units or classic Marines. And just go, there we go. We've got some more heavy weapons. Why is my monitor just gonna... Hello? That was just weird. My monitor's just gone off and on and off and on. No idea why. That was bizarre. That's worrying. This is a relatively new monitor as well. Don't tell me it's breaking and going. I don't even use it to its full capabilities. I'm not burning the monitor out or anything. So what the fuck's going on? Let me just check a couple of things. Make sure I'm not done out daft. No, everything seems to be okay there. What the fuck's going on? Yeah, check a couple of things. Isn't that bizarre? Make sure I'm not done out daft. That is bizarre. That's just really strange. And there's... Oh well, on we go. No, I shouldn't. I imagine it would have affected your screen because obviously your screen's done from the camera and from the microphone, which is here. But my screen, the bit where I get to see what everyone else sees, is weird. Mm. Yeah, okay. It did what it did. Next. Oh, this is one that's had a repair job. Right, I remember you. You've got a weirder tail than everyone else. Need more yellow. That's why I like this little poppet thing for all the speed paints. Because when they dry in it, I get to just go and it comes out. Can't remember who found that off either, but very, very good technique. Very, very good little thing to do. I'm glad I found that video on YouTube of whoever it was who did that and said, use poppet things to use speed paints. It works. And they were right. See, I watch YouTube just, well, not as much anymore, but I did watch it just as much as everybody else. Especially for painting techniques and how to do things. And then I eventually realized that it is practice. And all it has been is practice. I'm sure when I come around to non-metallic metal, I'll probably accidentally do that right as well. But that'll only come with practice with dealing with just normal layering paints. And then as I'm layering paints and I'm learning about lights and how light works and how reflections work and things like that, and that's when I'll be able to do non-metallic metal. And hopefully in about a year or two, I'll be able to paint something like what Twisted's painting now, even though he'll be painting stuff better than that then. Oh well. As you said, Twisted, you're 50 and I'm 5, so I've still got a while to catch up, mate. I've still got a while to catch up. Youth is on my side. I didn't think I'd be saying that about it. Not by fucking much, trust me. I may physically only be 40 years old, but yeah, my body's a little bit older than that. I would imagine. Probably got more like the body of a 50-year-old and falling apart sometimes. Couldn't even complete my full set at the gym today. I was quite angry at myself for that. Couldn't even complete my full set at the gym. Batch painting sucks. Batch painting sucks. Yeah, you're gonna have to do if you using stuff like oxidized silver and things like that, and putting more colors within it. Yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot of research. I would imagine. I was just thinking basic silver, gold at a push to be ornate, and but even gold's working through yellows and whites and other things that can be a pain in the ass. Silver's the easiest one using monotone, using grays. Whites, grays, blacks. That's why the basic metal is probably the easiest one to do a base color on. Then any source lighting you can spray over afterwards, but you've got your metal in place. Yeah, if you've got something where you can get it into different stages, so if you can polish it to this stage to see how it works like at looking like this, and then polish it up to a higher grade to see how it gets a sharper reflection and see how it contrasts and manipulates light then. And then if you can really polish it up so it's almost a mirror finish, that'll give you even more stuff to work with. Because if you can get metals up to a mirror level of finish, obviously then you've got whatever's in front of the the metal that is going to be reflected within smaller colors, and that's just a whole different kind of worms I don't even want to go down. Pseudo reflections. No, thank you. That's something that's just going to be a pain to do. That nothing about the word pseudo reflections strikes me with confidence because you can never give a true reflection because you never know. It's never going to be the exact same thing that's in front of it in the exact same position. So to give it a reflection that's kind of going to be overall bit of everything. Yeah, well, that two more of these to go. The black and the dry brushing burnt me out. I probably should have done the black and the dry brushing this afternoon while it was warm. Sat up, just sat here, just hammered them out, quick, ready for tonight, and then I could have just come in with colours and it would have been better. Have you? There has not been a notification. Was it a while ago or just now? Because it was just now. I've not got the notification yet, and if it was a while ago, I'll go back and have a look. But not right now because I have yellow to paint. I'm sorry, people, but yeah, that black has just burnt me out for the evening. It's killed off my any motivation I had just now. Right, okay. Why isn't it popping up then? Hmm. It might be that one that's up on there, but it should have popped up in the corner there. I might have missed it. It might have popped up and I missed it. Who knows? But I shall check out after this. Unless it's the one I've already seen. No, because that was a Tyranid. That was a Necron one. That was something else. I don't want to waste paint. Oh, speed paint at least. And I don't want to waste speed paint. Well, technically, I do have another bottle of it, and the only reason I have this speed paint is to paint this army. It's the only army I paint with. Oh no, because I'm going to need some of it to paint the guards soon as well, aren't I? But it's not these colours, so I should be alright. I won't be needing the orc skin flesh, and I won't be needing the purple, and I won't be needing yellow for doing guard. I just believe I'll have a fair few fucking tanks to get through. One more barb got. One more barb got. Deep breaths. Last one. We can do it. We can. We can. Go. I believe in you, people. My belief in you will hopefully drive a belief in me, and that we'll get through this one. What the fuck was that? Ah, that was the thing popping up. That's what that was. You think it was a silver ring? Yes, a silver ring. That's another thing. We've got a local jewelers, which is where we intend to get the wedding bands from. And we were lucky enough, we managed to get a 10% discount voucher. This place doesn't do discounts. You don't get discounts from this place. I know. I've bought a few things, never done a discount. Even because I've known staff, I've never got a discount. So this time we've got a 10% discount voucher to get the wedding bands and stuff. Fucking excellent. And just getting 10% knocked off it doesn't take anything away from the value or price of the ring. It just means that I've not had to, or should I say, we've not had to pay quite that full amount because we were lucky enough. Although I still think I'm going to be going titanium. I can't be having soft metals. I can't be doing golds, and I don't react well to silver or some golds anyway. So I'm thinking titanium might be the better option. Also, that way, less chance of me fucking damaging it, which is always a possibility for me. Okie dokie. Sitting forward like that is also hurting my back as well, which is not nice. It's not pleasant. And I've got this buggy, you see. While I've got a lot of painting, I think I will actually get him painted up as well because he is technically a HQ unit, and it is one I wish to use just because it can be a very nice annoyance and nuisance little fucker. So I would like to get him at least started if I can. There's another one that because of his wings, he has a lot of flesh tone on him. I mean, there are panels down his back that will be done purple, but yeah, he's got a lot of flesh tone because of his wings. And I say flesh tone, I'm using yellow as their flesh tone, so you do get a flesh tone that is more humany flesh tone. So not to get the confused, I'm using zealot yellow, but that just happens to be the color of the skin for these aliens. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. I need the higher quality gold for it not to react to me. Otherwise, if it's cheap crap, I go green. So I think that's also a reaction I have because the 9 carat gold is generally got like a nickel coating on it, and I think it's the nickel coating that I react to more than the actual gold itself, or the impurities within the gold, should I say? I mean, I might end up being the same with titanium, but I'd rather run the risk with titanium than gold because even with the 9 carat or an 18 carat gold band, it'll still cost me more than a titanium band, and I don't want to spend a couple of £100 to find out I can't wear it, and I'll go buy a new one. Ah, right. I see. Yeah. So going for platinum. See, I didn't taking it that step. Literally go. Well, we need to go pure. We need to go for a less reactive metal. So from gold is platinum, isn't it? There's not really many places you can go from gold, especially if you've already gone up in quality. Pretty much the only place you can go from there is platinum. I mean, you could possibly try like white golds, rose golds, different types of golds, but purity levels again, you're gonna have to make sure you get higher levels up there just to limit the chances of having a reaction. Especially if you can smelt it and set it yourself as well. That way, there's no additional coatings or anything that's going on that may cause reactions. Like I said, with cheap stuff, they coat with nickel, I react. I have a bad reaction to, and my hand will go green within a day, or at least my finger will do. And that's not particularly what you'll be wanting by the end of your wedding day. Is the finger that everyone's going to be paying slight attention to. Well, more hers than mine, but yeah, and that's hence why I'm going for titanium. If the higher quality you go, is the softer the gold. So I need something that's going to be non-reactive and hard wearing. So titanium it is because I can't afford platinum. Not a chance in hell can I afford platinum. I love platinum, but no. So it's going to be a nice brushed titanium ring for me. Now, luckily, it is also the same place that we got the Sparkles engagement ring from. So they'll have a wedding ring that will fit and match in style, which is nice. So there is also the Parasite of Mortrex skin done for the first coating layer. Obviously, I've got the purples and the greens to add to it. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel, and welcome in. Welcome. Thank you for coming to join us. I am worn out. Painting black does a lot to you. I mean, it doesn't help that today's gym day as well. I think every day that Thursdays I don't go to the gym. I'll say every day that I come live, I go to the gym. So except for Thursdays, but Thursdays I don't. So as I am gonna call it quits here for now because soul sapping batch painting. But I'm gonna go down and pick one up. So although they're all brightly coloured, eventually they will be looking like this chappy, hopefully, and they will be getting the same similar basing on it. So all the talons are going to get done green, the tongue, and they will be getting a dry brush over to hopefully try and dull down some of that red that got accidentally overspilled. Everything else will be pretty much following this main colour scheme as well. So anything that's got a brain section on the back, so for these, we'll be getting the done green as well. Anything that looks like it's going to do you harm, we'll be doing green. I've already done the skin, started the skin painting, which is all yellow, and then the armor, which will be eventually purple. Good evening, Beaky. Good evening. How you doing, man? You've come in just towards the end as I'm summarizing how all these are going to look once I've finished in about 2 or 3. And just for the last one, I need because it is the model, so and hopefully this chappy will look like this chappy by the end of it. See, big difference, but that slap chop does help. It does help just give you those edges. I'm not keen on this shininess though. I'm not that keen on this shininess, so that might be getting something to help dull it down a bit more. But I do like the smoky effects coming out the top there. His mouth that is eating a steak, which I still need to get blood on. And we're same on that one as well. These are going to have eaten a lot of my Space Marines by the looks of it. This is not nice. So that's what we're looking forward to for next week. Next Models and Musings will be going through colours more. So it'll probably be yellow on all of these. And then we'll start on the purple and then we'll finish off with green on everything. And then it's final dry brush stages. A pair of what? A pair of these? Twisted, I've already done a pair of them. I've just got a third one to do. I was like, this is wave 3. This is wave 3. This is by no means the start of my tyrannical journey. This is hopefully the end of my Tyranid journey, and I'll have one more model, maybe even a proxy version in the future to pick up, which would be a winged Tyranid Prime. I'm sorry, a winged Hive Tyrant, and that's the only other model I want for my army. Yeah, I've got 2 Screamer Killers, 2, essentially one of each Norn big fucking things, 2 Neuro Tyrants, and then a crap load of little things, and 3 of these. How does your army work? It runs at you with lots of little shit with a 6+ feel no pain. Lots of little shit. And if you've got tanks, everything gets lethal hits against it. And if you've got lots of infantry, everything gets sustained hits against it. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 monsters. Lots of little things. And little shits like that as well. And run around. It is quite a bug hard. I think it's 60 termagants now. 22 Neurogants, 15 Barb Gaunts, 3 6. At least 9, if not 12 Von Ryan Sleepers. Neurolictor, Parasite of Mortrex. Now, these I'm going to count as warriors with melee bioweapons because I don't like the Winged Prime. I think it's shit. It is. It's a shit fucking. It's a shit HQ. Parasite of Mortrex is better because it's got lone operative. So they're going to become warriors with melee bioweapons. So I've got them as well. And then what is it? One unit of Ripper Swarm bases per unit of 10 termagants, so 6 Ripper Swarm bases, so that's 2 units of 3. What else is there? No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, 60 termagants, 12 on Ryan's Leapers. I think it's 12. Pretty sure it's 12. Yeah. 15 Barb Gaunts. 3 Psychophages, 2 Screamer Killers, 2 Narns, and 2 Neurotyrants. It is quite a bug card. Fucking, I don't want to face it, but I do because I don't ever get to face my armies. It's shit because I've got about 5 of the fucking things now. Well, I will have come Wednesday, and then I'll have 6 by the end of this combat patrol. It's going to be daft. I'm going to have a lot of armies, and I never get to play against my own armies. So Sparkle still owes me a game. Next door said they'll have me a game. I'll eventually get one. Anywho, thank you for everyone for joining me. And Daniel, was he Daniel? Let me check how to get that right. Yep, Daniel, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I usually do this at 9:30 British English time. I'm not sure what time that is now. I've been on for 2 hours, so you can backtrack 2 hours, and that's the time I started. Probably do the same on Thursday, but I'll be doing my Magical World of Sparkles and Oak. And hopefully on Wednesday there will be a copy of Combat Patrol, so I'll be covering that early in the morning for me. But thank you everybody for coming joining this evening. If you've liked what you've seen and you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button, hit like, do comments after it's all gone off if you want to as well. All be needed. And yeah, drive safe everyone, and I will see you Wednesday if you come and join Wednesday, Thursday, or if not, then next week.